Hi guys, Durka here, and welcome back to another video. Good to see everybody. First of all, I know I say this every time I do these videos, but apologies for lack of videos. It has been a little while since the last one. If you guys follow me on Twitch or follow me on Discord, Discord is a new server we're on. I'll explain that a bit more towards the end of the video. The link is at the bottom. I took a break. I took a little break from Twitch, and then I went on holiday. And then just before I went on holiday, my PC broke. That took a little while to get sorted, and then I went in for quite a big ear operation. I'm still off work, so I'm having time to start up these videos again. But anyway, with that out the way. Yeah, thanks for watching my videos as always, and thank you for all the support. It's really much appreciated. So today we are going to fly the Captain Sim 727-200. I purchased this Captain Sim 727 during the sales. Captain Sim often do a €10 sale. And I picked up a couple of planes. I picked up the TriStar as well. I picked up the 707, which unfortunately, well, that was actually donated to me. Unfortunately, that's not working. So yeah, I've been flying the 727 quite a bit. It's really good. I like it. It's nowhere near, obviously, PMDG standard, but it's a fun plane to fly. And you get to fly these old classics, which by the way I'm going to be doing a few videos flying some of these old birds. As I said, I've been enjoying them a lot, and they're a lot of fun. Today's flight, we are flying from Vienna in Austria, and we are going to fly to Zurich in Switzerland. A short little hop, nothing too long. I think we're looking maybe just on an hour, I think. Or maybe just on an hour. Actually, it's giving me 54 minutes, so yeah, about an hour or so. I will show you how to set up the plane. As I said, it's nothing too difficult. Remember, this doesn't have an FMC. So we'll just be flying sort of heading mode, flying hopefully VOR to VOR. I can show you how to do that. And then I'll show us our landing into Zurich. Okay, good. I'll see you guys in the cockpit to prepare the plane for takeoff. I'll see you in a bit. So, we're in the cockpit. We will start setting up. Just first of all, you can see it was a three-man operation in the 727. So your captain, your first officer, and then your engineer, who obviously sat here and controlled a lot on the engineer board, the fuel, the bus ties, APU, the hydraulics, the packs, etc, etc. So yeah, and remember, as I said earlier, no FMC, no FMC on the 727. No auto throttle as well. It was all just sort of VOR. I don't know if this plane, actually I can't remember if this plane comes with an INS. Does it come with an INS? Oh, it does come with an INS. I haven't trying to get my head around the INS. Basically, the INS worked on sort of coordinates. You basically put in a whole lot of numbers, and you sort of fly from sort of latitude to longitude type coordinates. They use this on the TriStar as well, on the Lockheed TriStar. So there's something I'm trying to get my head around. So we will do a video once I sort of learn this and get my head around. But anyway, we'll today we'll just fly sort of heading and VOR mode. Okay, well, let's get set up then. So what we need to do first, let's do our fuel. So we need to just do our fuel through the settings, the fuel settings within P3D. I need around 11,000 kilograms, so I sort of worked it out earlier off video. I think it's around 80% on the 80 and then 80. Just over 11,000. Maybe we can do like 78. I don't know, a give and take. There we go. That's perfect. Okay, good. We'll leave all the weights in. We'll leave all those weights in. Okay, what we can do now is hydraulics off. We can turn our packs off. We can now start up the plane. Okay. We can now, there we can put that to bus tie and put that to APU. Alright, so we've got life in the plane. You can see the fuel has come on. So our altitude today is, our cruise altitude is pretty much at max altitude. The optimum altitude is 32,000. Let's just see if we've got any restrictions. We've got one restriction, we've got to be above 4,000. I'll quickly just show you our routing. So we're departing Vienna, as I said. We're on runway 29. We're on the SINT4X departure. So as I said to you, we've got that one restriction over there. We've got to be above 4,000. That's our SID. And then our routing all the way to Zurich. And then we'll work out our arrival. I'll see what the winds are doing in Zurich. And then we'll add in our approach mode, etc. Okay. Good. Good. So we can let's just dial this up to 32,000. Heading is 29, so let's put our heading in 290 degrees. We can do our QNH. Our QNH is what is our QNH? 1019. Oh, it was already there. 1019. Just zoom in there a little bit.
Barometer set.
There we go. Okay, good. APU running. We can now turn on our no smoking, seat belts. Turn on our beacon. That's all good. That's all good. We can do on the captain on the. I think that actually does both. Oh, it does do both. Yeah, it does do both. Good. Okay. I think we're set. So as you can see, it's done fairly well, this plane. I think Captain Sim have done a good job on the plane. I know I'm not doing. I think there is a full cold and dark on this plane. You can do there is a full cold and dark where you come back to the engineer board, and obviously everything will be off. You need to put in your ground power, your battery, etc., etc. But you know what? When I fly like most of my flights, even if it's these old classics or the new modern ones, I always put them in sort of short stay, because you know, these things land and then half an hour, 40 minutes they back up in the air again. So let's get Pushback. Let's get GSX out. Let's see where we are. We want to go to the right. So we want nose right, tail left. Do you want to start engine before pushback? No. There we go. GSX makes me laugh. Sometimes with these smaller planes, they bring out these massive tugs for pushback, and then oh, look at that.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And then with the bigger planes like the 747 or the 777, they bring out the smaller ones. Oh, and look, that's just part of this is
locking gear.
This is FlyTampa Vienna, by the way. Really good scenery. The link is below. I do put all the links for all the software I use below. So
departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
You can see we're going to have a bit of airport traffic around. So alright, so let's start the engine. So we start with the center engine. So you can see on the N2 it's starting to build up now, and I normally switch on the fuel around the 20%. There we go. That's engine, center engine, and then I go to engine on the right, and wait for that to get up to about 20%, and then we switch on there. There we go. GSX has actually pushed me out once, correctly for once.
Set parking brakes.
Alright, and then our left engine. You should see get up to around 20%.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass main removed.
Alright, good. Good. Right, let's just wait. Let's just wait for the signal. Which side is it going to signal? Straight in front. Get the signal, and then we'll finish the plane off.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
There's the signal. Thank you very much. And you should walk away. Yes, thank you very much. Bye bye. I'll see you next time. Have a good trip. Thank you. Cool. Alright, what we can do now is we can put our hydraulics back on. We can put our packs back on. We can open the bus ties, those 3 bus ties. We can now turn off the APU. Put on a fuel heat. That goes to Gen 1, and that goes to Gen 1. Galley power can go on as well. Let's just see if we've got any. Sorry, that should have been, sorry, but that mustn't go to close. Sorry, apologies about that. Yeah, that needs to stay in the center. So that's fine. Packs are on, everything looks good. No other warning lights. Let's just look over here. So it's just telling us we've got the right gear, left gear, and nose gear door open. I can actually put the panel light on there. Good. All right, let's go. Next. So. We can get up some flaps going as well. You need quite a bit of flaps for this plane. I normally put about 15. I normally do 15 flaps. There we go. And I find with the Captain Sim 727, it's got quite I use the Cytec throttles. It takes a little bit of you have to push your throttles up quite a bit. Yeah, you've got to push your throttles up quite a bit. So if anyone has it or thinking of getting this, just remember that. So you might think, oh, there's something wrong because you put your throttles up and nothing's happening. The plane doesn't move. It does take a little while for the plane to start spooling up and get going. So. So not too much of a long taxi down to runway 29. Let's get our taxi lights on. See all the reins getting pushed behind. Let's line up a little bit maybe on the taxiway. Such a nice plane this, and it looks so nice in the Lufthansa livery. I'm sure Lufthansa don't fly, or maybe they do, from Vienna down to Zurich. But I didn't really have, I don't have a Swiss Air or Austrian Air livery for this plane. I've got an Air France and this Lufthansa one, so I thought that Lufthansa was the closest we would get. It looks so good though. The Lufthansa livery looks so nice on this plane. It looks really good on the TriStar as well. As I said earlier, definitely going to do some I'm going to do a whole lot of these videos, these classic videos. So look out for those, and we'll definitely jump into the TriStar as well. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go to, so we're taxiing down Oscar, and we will hold at Alpha 1, which should be coming up, I think it's, is it this one? No, it's the next one. Or is it that one there? Oh no, it is this one. It is this one, Alpha 1, there we go. just saw Alpha 1. Yeah, I don't think you can actually get from the other side there, so I'm glad I just saw that. They need to cut their grass. Look, I'll put a complaint into airport management. Cut the grass. Alright, not a very nice day today in Vienna. Rain. I don't know what the weather's doing in Zurich. We will have a look closer to the time. The wind has changed a little bit. It's gone up to 300 now, or 300 at 7 knots. It was 290, I think. Was it 290 or 280 maybe? Oh, we just got one more thing to do as well on the overhead. Alright, good. Let's just line up a little better here. Okay, good. Good. So what we do need to do is just arm the emergency lights. That's fine there. Taxi lights can go off. We can put on our landing lights. Navigation lights can go on as well. Just double check. We've got no warning lights there. Okay, I think we're good. Let me just, that's the one I wanted. Alright, let's go. So get it up to about 80%, 90% now. And here we go.
Knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate. V2 plus 10.
Alright, positive rate, gear up. Good. Up to flaps 5 now. Start doing a left turn. I'll just pull back on our throttles a little bit. We don't want to.
Flaps up.
Flaps up. Okay.
And slats retract.
Alright, let's get through that cloud. We don't want to pass the 250 mark. You can see we've got our limit there. We don't want to pass that 250. Remember I said these are no auto throttle, so you've got to manage your throttles. Okay, good. So I'm now going to put it into autopilot. And we're going to put it into heading mode, and then we'll start tracking our first VOR. We want a 269 heading. 269. Heading mode.
Auto flight.
And we put the auto flight on. That should start turning us. So we're still around that 250. Remember, we got a 250 restriction above 10,000. So we don't want to go above that. and start climbing a bit more as well. So the way I basically bring up the autopilot in 2D. This is a little finicky trying to work the trim in the 3D mode, in the cockpit mode, or the virtual cockpit mode. So what I do is I do Shift 4 and excuse me, it brings up this little 2D mode, and it's actually a little easier to work. So there we go. So we're just above the 250 mark, which is a little naughty, so let's just pull that down a little bit. But we're going to be passing the 10,000 meter mark now. There we go, 10,000. So we can go above the 250. Our landing lights can go off. Now we can increase our speed up again. We can get rid of that. There we go. Everything looks good. So quite a bit of rain there in Vienna. So let's see if we can track our first VOR. It's the SBG VOR, which is 1138. So let's see if we can track that. So what we need to do is put this into the nav radio. So 113, which we have, 1138. Okay, let's see if that. So we can put the flight director on. So flight director on. And now we can put the autopilot to nav as well. And let's see if that picks it up. No, it hasn't picked it up yet. I don't know what the radius on that VOR is. Put up our speed a little bit. We'll try climb around about the 280 mark. I want to just double check the range of that VOR. That's the Salzburg VOR actually. VOR range. Oh yeah, it's not a very big. It's not very big that. So. We should pick it up in about another 5 minutes or so. So we'll just stay in heading mode. So we'll pick up that we'll pick up the Salzburg VOR. Then we've got the Captain VOR, and then we can then track after the Captain VOR. We can then track the Zurich VOR. And then that pretty much, yeah, the Zurich VOR, and then we can do our arrival into Zurich, so that should be good. Right, so as soon as we're in range, you will see that the VOR will light up to green as well. So you can see on the display on the annunciator, you've got the flight director and then you've got the autopilot. So you can see we're in heading mode. We've got our VOR selected on the flight director, but on autopilot, as soon as we connect, as soon as we're in range of that VOR, it will then go green. can get our speed up a little bit more here now as well. Get our speed up. So we're at 21,000. So remember, we're getting up to 32,000, which is pretty much the cruise level of the 727s. Everything looks good behind here. Okay, good. Good, good, good. I do like this plane. It's such a fun plane to fly. It's just something different, you know. If you guys are bored at flying your NGX all the time, or your 757, or whatever plane you tend to fly all the time, this is really a nice plane to fly. Something different. As you guys know, you guys who follow me on Twitch, and guys, the Twitch link is below. You'll know that on my channel we mix up things quite a bit. I tend to fly a lot of different planes, so I like how Captain Sim have even simulated, or they've added in the old, burning out that whole old horrible smoke there, as you can see from the engines. I think they've done a great job. They've actually done that with all their old classic planes. Captain Sim have done that, so it just adds to the sort of the classic old feel and old look. We actually want to, we're heading, let's turn our heading a little bit. We're heading a little too north, so let's just do a left turn here. Not too much. I actually don't want to go too much here. But as I said, we should be. Let's drop our. You can see we're dropping a little bit of speed here, so I want to just pop the nose down a little bit. Climb a little bit the vertical speed a little bit slower than we were. We can get rid of that. As I said, you can use the autopilot in this view, but the trim thing is a little funny. That's why I just pop up the 2D bit there. So. Oh, landing lights can go. Did I turn my landing? Oh, I did turn my landing lights off, yeah. Good. Alright, we should be picking up that, let's have a look. We should be picking up that, in about 3 minutes, we should pick up that VOR. That's the Salzburg VOR. And then we're going to head to the captain. We can put that in the standby. That's 1096. 1096. Oh, that's the comp. Sorry, where am I? Actually, let's just comp. No, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it in. So I thought it was you could swap over, but yeah, that's the nav and that's the com. So yeah, we'll just leave it. We'll add it in a bit. What we can do is we can actually turn on our. This does have a working radar. I should have actually put it on earlier. It would have been nice to have seen the rain around Vienna, but that is working. That's just Plan G. I've got Plan G in the background. Plan G is just picking up where my VORs are so we can track those. Alright, so we're close to cruise now. We're close to cruise. Guys, as always with my videos, we'll get up to top of descent, which is to say not too far away. I'll then turn the video off. I'll turn it on again just to admire some of the scenery. We should be flying close to the Alps, so I will put it on a bit, and then as always I will put it on again just so we can prepare the cabin for arrival into Zurich. There you can go. There you can see we've got the Alps ahead of us there, looking good. So I think we should be close to, yep, top of 32,000. So let's put that into altitude hold. You should see now we should start leveling off, and our speed will start increasing. Remember, you got to keep an eye on the speed. So might have to pull back a little bit, but let's see. Have we not picked up that VOR yet? No, not picked up the VOR. I think my around 90% there. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, we don't want to. You can see down there on the N1. Yeah, we just on. We can actually pull back that a little bit. We can now put that down to 10:13 as well. Oh no, I was going the right way. 13. Alright, that VOR, we've picked up that VOR now. So, we'll track that VOR now. There we go. So let's take it out of heading mode, and we should start tracking it. We should. There we go. Should start picking up that VOR now. Good. That's what I like to see. So as I said, we'll track the Salzburg VOR, and then once we hit the Salzburg VOR, we will then track the captain. Was, what did I say, 1069, and then once we then we'll track the Zurich VOR, and then once we've tracked the Zurich VOR, then we pretty much will sort our we'll do our arrival into Zurich. So nice, the plane. It's just, I think this livery, the Lufthansa livery, just looks so nice on this old classic plane. Right, we've got about it should tell us on the DME. There's the Alps there. Actually, a nice day. Looks like a nice day. Well, besides the rain in Vienna, it looks a nice day. It looks a really nice day. Okay, what is it doing now? What is it doing now? Let's. Yeah, you got to just be constantly just making sure that it's that it's picking up. It tends to drift off a little bit. Alright, see our speed as well. Let's pull our speed down. We're around about the 300, which is fine. Let's just put that down to about just below 90%. You can see there, we don't want to go. Alright, good. Alright, we're pretty much bang on with that VOR now. But as I said, you need to just make sure that you keep an eye on the course selector. So we got, there we go, it's counting down. You can see we got, what's that, 56 miles to go till we intercept that VOR. There's the Alps in the distance. We pretty much, the routing we do, basically from Vienna down to Zurich, the Alps pretty much run. If I just pop my head out the window, yeah, the Alps pretty much run, yeah, all the way, or the Austrian Alps, all the way on our routing, yeah, on the left-hand side. You can see them all in the distance there, all along there. Yeah, so we should basically have the Alps on our left-hand side. When I planned this flight, you can see we're going a little bit off that VOR again, so just keep an eye on it. Should start bringing us around a bit. There we go. When I did plan this this video and this route, I was going to go down into Geneva. That's also a really nice flight down to Geneva, a nice approach. And you got obviously the Alps, but I like, especially if you fly, I can't remember what runway it is. I think it might be runway 23 or 25 in Geneva, the one which you fly over Lake Geneva, which is really, really nice. But I haven't flown into Zurich for a while, so I thought that would be nice. So you can see our speed is nice and stable as well. We're around about the 300 mark, which is good. It is giving us room to increase that, but it's fine. Okay, good. Oh, we can actually lock those now. There we go. We can lock that. That should have been done. Alright guys, everything is good. Everything looks stable. We on our way to the Salzburg VOR. I will see you guys in a little bit. And here we go. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Okay guys, welcome back. So we should have, as you can see, about 7 miles to go to that VOR. That was the Salzburg VOR. We then got about another, let's have a look, once we leave that VOR, we got another 26 miles, about 27 miles to catch the next VOR, so we'll just go back into heading mode. we'll just go back into heading mode. We've got a radial. So that noise you're hearing in the background is just me on plan G. So we've got a radial of 261. 261. Pretty much where we are. Alright, so let's put that into heading mode now. There we go. And what we can do, we can now put in the Kempton VOR, which is 1096. 1096. Good. See the Alps there, really nice. Looking really good. The speed is good as well. Get our speed up a little bit. Let's get it up to about, back up to just under 90%. Right, so we're back in heading mode. We've put in our new VOR 10960. So once again, once we're in range, the VOR lock on the annunciator will go green, and then we can tune it in on the HSI. And then once we leave the Kempton VOR, we will then track the Zurich VOR, which is, let's have a look here, let's have a look. It's actually Zurich East VOR 11005. And what range we got on that one? See if we can even maybe pick it up now. Maybe it's got a longer range. No. Actually, it does actually, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think we could, I think. Oh no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's fine. It actually, no, no, we're still quite away from that, the Zurich East VOR. But what does overlap the Kempton VOR, so what we'll do is we'll track the Kempton VOR, and then it looks like about 2-3 minutes before we reach the Kempton VOR, we'll help to track the Zurich VOR. So that should be fine. Alright, so what I'll do is once we capture the Kempton VOR, I will turn off again, and I'll see you guys once we pass the Kempton VOR. Oh, really nice day in Europe today. So besides that rain in Vienna, it's really nice. See what it's actually doing in. See what the weather is like in Zurich. LSZH. Oh, we got rain showers. I spoke too soon. We got rain showers down there. Okay, doesn't look like we've got any weather fronts. Okay, we still. How far are we? I wonder if Active Sky might have. I know I'm running the new. I'm running the new Active Sky beta. I'm running the new Active Sky beta, so maybe that. Anyway, we've picked up that VOR now, as you can see. So let's start tracking that. Let's put it. Let's take it off heading mode. Oh, heading mode was off. Okay, it did go off automatically there. Good. And we should start picking it up now. Yeah. So as I was saying, I am running the new Active Sky beta, which is build 5926. So it could be something to do with that, because it doesn't look like we got any fronts ahead of us, but let's see. Anyway, if the weather is a little bit messed up, at least it's a nice day in Zurich, or a nice day in Europe. So all right, good. Okay guys, so we're tracking that Kempton VOR. What we'll do is, as I said to you, a couple of miles before the Kempton VOR, we should pick up the Zurich East VOR. I will see you back then.